Feel patchy in front of me, Reed.
Thank you. Disney's Princess Jasmine soaring to the stars. Look at that. Look at this.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. My name is Princess Jasmine. My father is the Sultan of Agrabah. I'm married to my true love, Aladdin. Before I met Aladdin, I didn't want to be a princess. All father thought about was finding a husband for me. The law said I had to marry before my next birthday. I thought it was a stupid law. I did not want to marry because I had to. I wanted to marry for love. See?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. That tiger is a nice tiger, huh?
Not for anybody else.
Oh, it was one of those tigers. Then there was Jafar, the royal vizier. He had been my father's advisor for years, but I didn't trust him. My pet tiger, Raja, and I watched him and his parrot, Iago. They were planning something. I just knew it. See?
Yeah.
Look at those eyes. They look like they're scheming. I realized father only wanted the best for me, but I couldn't marry someone I didn't even know. I decided to leave the palace and see the world. I disguised myself as a peasant, and with Raja's help, I climbed over the garden wall into the streets of Agrabah. I was free. Look, that tiger's helping her free. You wish you had a tiger? Oh. Chapter 2. The city was amazing. While exploring a busy market, I gave an apple to a hungry boy. The street vendor asked me how I planned to pay for it. When I told him I didn't have any money, he grabbed my arm. Suddenly, a stranger appeared. Thank you, kind sir, he said to the vendor. He explained that I was his crazy sister. The street vendor didn't believe us and called for the palace guards. We ran away, and the stranger led me up to this rooftop hideout. The stranger's name was Aladdin. He asked me where I was from. What does it matter, I asked. I wanted to be just like Aladdin, free to do what I wanted, to live by my own rules. We sat and looked at the view. The palace looks pretty amazing, Aladdin said. Aladdin told me he dreamed about living there. I wanted to tell him that life on the streets was so much better than living inside the palace. But I didn't want him to know who I really was. Time passed quickly as we talked about our dreams. Aladdin was...
Was what?
Hold on, I'm turning. Honest and real. He didn't pretend to be anything he wasn't. Suddenly, the royal guards appeared. Here you are, they shouted, waving their swords. Aladdin looked me in the eye and held out his hand. Do you trust me? He asked. I did. So I took his hand and mine, and we jumped.
Who anyone's jumped?
Yeah, those guys.
He can't jump that far.
Maybe he can jump pretty good. We landed safely and started running through the alleyways, but the guards caught up to us. I pulled off my scarf to show them who I was. Release him, I ordered. Sorry, princess, the captain said. We have orders from Jafar. Aladdin was quite surprised to discover that I was the sultan's daughter and not a peasant.
What's a peasant?
Peasant, it's like a normal person. When I returned to the palace, I asked Jafar where Aladdin was. He told me Aladdin had been sentenced to death for kidnapping me. He didn't kidnap me, I protested. Oh dear, Jafar replied. The sentence has already been carried out. I ran out of the room, collapsed by a fountain, and wept. Oh, she's so sad. She thinks he killed Aladdin.
Not really.
Oh, not really. Chapter 3. The next day, hundreds of people filled the streets of Agrabah. A loud parade marched towards the palace with dancers, music, and even an elephant. Hey, that elephant looks familiar.
Hey, that one is...
The parade was in honor of a prince named Ali Ababwa. I was still heartbroken over Aladdin, and I didn't want to meet some arrogant prince. But if he really wanted to see me, I'd tell him exactly how I felt. After Father welcomed the prince, he called for me. I marched into the throne room. Father really liked him, but the prince was even worse than the others, strutting around in fancy clothes like a peacock. How dare you decide my future? I asked Prince Ali angrily. I'm not a prize to be won. Then I stormed out of the room. He looks good, right? Look at that. He has a carpet that flies.
That's a magic carpet.
Chapter 4. I was in my room when Raja ran out to the balcony. He growled at Prince Ali, who had suddenly appeared on the balcony. I don't want to see you, I told him. Go jump off a balcony. Wow. Ali apologized and did just that. No, I cried in fear, but Ali didn't fall. Instead, he seemed to be floating in midair. How are you doing that? I asked. It's a magic carpet. Do you want to go for a ride? Ali asked. He reached out his hand. Do you trust me? I had heard those words once before spoken by Aladdin. Could this be the same person? I needed to know. Yes, I said, taking his hand. That night, we explored faraway places that I've only read about, and it revealed that he was Aladdin. He really was Aladdin. I was so happy that he was alive. When we got back to my balcony, Aladdin gave me a kiss. We had fallen in love with each other, and I made up my mind. Aladdin was the man I was going to marry. Look at that tiger. He's like...
But the princess doesn't marry anyone.
That tiger almost bit that guy.
Does the princess marries no one?
We'll figure that out. Chapter 5. The next morning, I went to tell father my news. He was standing with Jafar. You will wed Jafar, he said strangely. Father looked as if he's been hypnotized. Just then, Aladdin burst into the room. He told us that Jafar had tried to kill him the night before. What did Jafar want with Aladdin? I soon found out. Look at him. Look at his eyes. You think he's okay?
No.
Look at those two. Look at them. They're like...
No.
Aladdin...
He's doing something to his eyes.
He's doing something to his eyes?
Yeah.
You think it's that snake thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's his staff.
It's his staff.
Wait, that matches Pharaoh's staff.
Oh. Let's figure this out. Aladdin had discovered a magic lamp and become friends with the genie who lived inside it. The genie transformed Aladdin into the Prince Ali in order to impress me. But Jafar had stolen Aladdin's lamp, and now all of the genie's powers were in Jafar's evil hands.
Oh, that's the wrong hands.
That's not good. Jafar had always wanted to be sultan. With me as his queen, now that he had hypnotized my father and taken over Agrabah, Jafar commanded the genie to make me love him. He didn't know that genies can't make people fall in love, so I just pretended to be in love with Jafar. While Jafar looked into my eyes, Aladdin searched for the lamp. But Jafar saw through the trick and trapped me in an hourglass. Look, see? She's like, oh yeah. I'm just pretending, though. Then Aladdin had an idea. He fooled Jafar into making one last wish to be the most powerful genie in the world. Jafar turned into a genie, but he had forgotten something. A genie has to live inside a magic lamp until someone frees him. Jafar was now trapped. Look at him. He's trying to take that parrot with him. He has a cool lamp, though. It's all black. Father thanked Aladdin and the genie for saving Agrabah. Then he changed the law. The princess of Agrabah could now choose to marry whomever she wanted, whenever she wanted. I chose Aladdin, of course. Then Aladdin and I set off on the magic carpet to explore the whole new world together. That's pretty cool. The end.
If you get those number 2, though.